Hello, friends. Welcome to the Foreign Investors on India's weekly report. We have this week a number of reports on gas being increased in India as a power source. We also have the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley telling the industry that IT services value would increase to 400 billion by 2020. Supporting this report are three specialists we have from outside giving their views. Mr. Balasubramaniam of Bombay Stock Exchange gave us an insight into how the BSE's wholly owned subsidiary, India International Exchange, will operate when it starts trading from 9th of January from the Gift City in Gujarat. Then we have Asian Development Bank's experts telling us the importance of India becoming a major manufacturing hub for global markets and participate in the global value chain. The officials explained that how bilateral cooperation in manufacturing within China could benefit the Indian market as well the global value chain network. We start with Mr. Bala Subramaniam and then the Asian Development Bank's economies in the next three clips.
BSE is very happy to announce that on January 9th, 2017, it's going to start India's first international exchange, the India INX, which is coming up in the Gift City, which is the first international financial service center in India. Right. This center is going to be a truly international place, and already under the RBI's FEMA rules, this territory is almost deemed to be a foreign territory. Right. And can be easily, all currencies are allowed, and there is no capital account restrictions here. G. In addition, the Income Tax Act has also been amended to give a lot of tax concessions to this particular jurisdiction. Right. More importantly, the transaction taxes which are applied on securities and commodities will not be applicable here. Additionally, they are also given a 5-year tax holiday, right, income tax holiday, which is again carried forward at 50% rate for the next 5 years. No stamp duty, no custom duty, no service tax, none of these are applicable. And most importantly, there is no dividend distribution tax. So effectively, anyone who comes and creates a company in the IFSC will be able to take his profits back home without paying any taxes.
Could you give us the insight to your relationship with Dubai Exchange?
So Dubai Gold and Commodity Exchange, DGCX, has been our partner exchange. They have licensed from BSE the Sensex, and they have launched the Sensex futures contracts on that. And we are now extending this partnership also to the Indian International Exchange by entering into an agreement whereby we are licensing each other's products, and also we are sharing market data amongst ourselves. And we are also going to cooperate on business development as well as in joint promotion of various things, and also do probable future product developments together as also.
When was this agreement signed?
So this agreement has been signed just recently with Mr. Gaurav Desai, who is the CEO of DGCX, and this is already kind of going to be operational.
It has a great potential to attract more NRIs, and also we know that the Indian government introduced quite encouraging reforms. For instance, passage of the national value-added tax, right, the VAT, that will make the economy more integrated and more efficient, and also reform in the business environment, and so certainly this will reduce cost of doing business, attract more FDI to come to India. I think India needs FDI, and also India needs to participate in global value chain. That is the key lesson we learned from East Asia experience. Global value chain provide a starter for industrialization, for manufacturing development sector.
Yeah. Where is India in global value chain as of now?
I think so far India focuses more on the service sector, and the well-developed service sector is, I think India have the global standards in terms of the service sector, but the manufacturing sector, I think India has large potential to develop.
What should they do about it? I mean, what do you expect them to do, or what do you think they should do?
Oh yes, but as I said, the government is already doing, for instance, infrastructure development. Because if you want to attract FDI and manufacturing, you need a good infrastructure and a low transport cost. But of course, this is the government is doing now. And as mentioned, the value-added tax reform is important. So. And then regulation reform in terms of reduce the cost of doing business.
China, within Asia, China is one of the biggest foreign FDI investment commitment to India. You think China is doing enough or making progress on that?
So certainly, as I said, China, because the moving up, the labor cost is increasing. So certainly, there's need for China to move up the value chain, and then that provide opportunities to countries with still lower labor cost. India obviously is a major destination for China's FDI, I would think, along with other countries in Southeast Asia, for instance.
Do you see Chinese manufacturers getting settled in India, doing it there and re-exporting back to China or to the global market?
Global value chain trade, or the FDI, there are two ways, right? You assemble, you import parts and components from other countries, assemble in local country, and you export. Or you sell the final product locally. So there are two ways, and both can work.
India is not only the magnet of the foreign direct investment from the world, but India is part of the emerging Asian investors in the region. India's investment to the UK, for example, in other European countries, in other parts of the world, is becoming more and more important. So in that sense, India has become the important component of the investment network around the globe.
Right. And do you see that the policies of attracting the foreign investment into India?
I think so, because according to our research, the governance or the institutional quality and the government commitment to the foreign investment is the most critical component. And the commitment from the top management or the policymakers is a very crucial factor in attracting the foreign direct investment outside.
Has this proven profitable? Has this worked for India? Has India gained in foreign investment in your view, really?
I hope so, because the FDI not only contributed the technological transfer in the domestic market, but also, as in our research we have shown, it can connect the country to the global value chain through the input-output linkages. So it can help connect India more to the production network vis-a-vis other countries. That is another crucial factor of FDI.
How do you think China sees India as a FDI destination?
I think that at the moment the trade linkage between China and India is not that high, but I think that the investment linkage between China and India can also contribute to strengthening the trade links. For example, if India attracts some foreign direct investment from China, then that factory can import some parts from China, and also the factory can manufacture those intermediate goods into final goods and re-export to China or to third country. In that sense, investment linkage between can even strengthen the trade linkage between those two countries.
Yeah. So what's your summing up of India-China trade links now? What do you think? How much forward can they go?
India and China, in many aspects, they have quite a significant degree of the complementarities, and then also as we have heard from the panel discussion today, China is moving up the value chain. Also, the labor cost and the production cost is rising in their country, but still India can enjoy some cheap labor cost with quality. So in that sense, India can also benefit from the changes in the global value chain, and then India can be the important part of the production, international production network, utilizing the cheap and the quality labor inputs. Also, technological advancement can be the plus to the India.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has told the IT industry that the market value of their products and services would reach huge 400 billion US dollars by the year 2020. He told them that the services and IT industry from India is now globally recognized, and there was emphasis from within the country to put in more research and development work. He also received good feedback from the industry during a pre-budget briefing for the coming year. The industry expressed their desire to see more infrastructure such as fiber cable layout as well as towers to support the network across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assured the chairman of National Assembly from Vietnam that he is encouraging Indian businesses to invest in Vietnam. He told her that the Indian businesses understand that Vietnam has a very investment-friendly environment. The chairwoman, Ms. Ngan, had also expressed her interest in seeing the Indians' investment and cooperation in the oil and gas sectors of that country. Both of them met in New Delhi during her visit on December 11. India is gung-ho on natural gas as a green energy. Led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced a series of natural gas projects in the coming years. Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dharmendra Pradhan, said he expects the industry to invest 20 billion US dollars over the next 5 to 7 years. These developments will include a 5 billion by Oil and Natural Gas Corporation of India, as well as another series of investment by Reliance and its partner British Petroleum in the Krishna Godavari Basin in the coming years. India will increase its natural gas pipeline network to 30,000 kilometers over the next 5 years, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told an industry exhibition, Petrotech, held recently in New Delhi. It is aimed to supply gas to 10 million households across the country as India emphasized on increasing the use of natural gas in the power generating sector as well as house fuel for cooking gas. India's new and renewable energy minister has expressed strong interest in building partnerships with energy producing countries. He is looking for technologies and best practices in the way of managing, producing and distributing environmental friendly energy. The minister speaking at the Petrotech conference and exhibition has pointed out that India will have to look away from fossil fuel as it has to go for more environment-friendly green energy. The Solar Energy Corporation Limited of India has launched a 1,000 megawatt capacity tender to build and set up a rooftop solar panel-based grid-connected network across government buildings. This is the largest single solar sector's rooftop solar panel project in the country and believes to be in the world. It is part of the India's drive to build 40 gigawatt solar-based energy in the country by 2022. The international consultancy PwC expects non-resident Indians to invest in luxury segment of the properties in main metros of India. Experts say that prices are falling fast following the demonetisation of the 500 and 1,000 rupee notes in the country. This has weeded out the black market dealing in the property sector, which is now going down by 25 to 40% on prices. A non-resident Indian will have good opportunities to place their money in high yield lucrative assets, especially luxurious condominium, expert at PwC believes. We close this report with an announcement from Ducon Technologies, which has won a contract to install an environmental friendly system in Karnataka. Ducon Technologies will install dry flue gas desulfuration systems at Karnataka plant in the coming months. India's defense sector will create business opportunities worth 250 million over the next 10 to 15 years. The government has released rupees 118 crore in the coming financial years for the farms mechanization of farm site.